Hello and welcome to Holiday Salute, our annual tribute to the men and women of our armed forces.
That's right, we've been doing this program for 38 years now. As always, we're going to highlight some of the heroes of today and enjoy some of the faces and voices from the past, too.
We're also going to honor some of the patriotic organizations that serve our local military members, their families, and veterans.
Holiday Salute, a tribute to our armed forces.
This year, one of the largest groups of local deployed military personnel comes from the USS Dwight D Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group, 5,000 sailors strong. For them and their families, the saddest day of all was Deployment Day.
It's a little unsettling. We're a Navy family. My husband's in the Navy, and so we've dealt with deployments, but it being our son is definitely different. It's different.
Carol Marr's grandson is part of the Ike crew. Given the crisis in the Middle East, Marr admitted she was worried.
Yes, I can't say that I'm not. I definitely am a little stressed about that, for sure. Yes.
Strike group leaders said the Eisenhower team would be ready for whatever awaits them.
The first question that gets asked by our national leaders is, where are the carrier strike groups? We just happen to coincide this scheduled deployment with some worldwide events that are going on right now. And when asked, we will support whatever we're tasked with.
Another key part of our mission is naval diplomacy. This is important. U.S. Navy warrior sailors have been seafaring diplomats since the service's inception. We take great pride in assuring our many allies that we have their back.
Of course, the deployment came just as the holidays were arriving. What are you going to miss?
Family, for the most part. I'm gonna definitely miss being around my family and hearing like the jokes and stuff that we go through, like stuff that happened throughout the year and stuff like that. So I'm gonna miss that a lot.
I think I'll be a little sad, but mostly proud of myself deep down that I was able to come out here and do what I'm doing.
First of all, I always believe in just saying, yep, it is tough. It's hard to be away. None of us like to be away from our loved ones. But the strength that we have is the fact that we're here together doing this. And then we know our purpose. We're doing this for our deals and what we believe, what we celebrate in the holidays is why we do this.
I'm going to be missing my wife and my son. My son was born in January, so this is going to be the first, I'm going to be missing the first Christmas and first New Year's. And first birthday, probably.
It's sad because I won't be at home to celebrate, with my family, but I have a family on board, so I feel like I can celebrate with them.
No, I just told them it's going to be okay. You guys are going to be good. You guys are doing great. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to do what I do out there. Just know that I'm always thinking about you, praying for you, and you guys will be all right. I'm going to be all right, and that's all that matters.
Ike crew members wanted to share a few holiday greetings for the folks back home.
Yes, I want to give a holiday shout out to my family. I'm sorry that I can't be there, but just know that I'm there in heart. I love y'all.
Shout out to my friends, Annalise, I love you and I miss you so much. I am okay. Jaylene, Sierra, Lily, I am okay. I love you guys and I miss you guys so much, but I am okay, I promise.
Yeah, a message I would like to give is, don't worry about me. I'm just here to do my job, man. I'm on the best damn ship in the Navy. No worries.
Absolutely. Love to give a shout out to our family and friends on behalf of the crew of the mighty USS Dwight D Eisenhower, the best damn ship in the Navy. Happy holidays. Have a fantastic new year.
I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Ethan, I love you. Zach, Logan, I love you guys so much. Have a good one. Have a good one.
Have a great time, y'all. See you when I come back.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
From the best damn ship in the Navy, USS Dwight D Eisenhower. Happy holidays!
The end-of-year assignment wasn't new, but always an adventure for reporter Joe Flanagan.
Get overseas to as many Norfolk-based ships as we could.
Navy Christmas, as it was called back then, the station's chance to highlight the sacrifice of our sailors during the holidays. In 1990, Joe would travel to the Persian Gulf during Operation Desert Storm. There, he'd find himself on board USS Iwo with a precious gift in hand for its commanding officer, Captain Michael O'Hearn.
Well, it was great for several perspectives. The main one was he brought a video of my family.
You can see in the story the VHS tape that you popped in.
Hi, dear. I Here's Alexi. Look at how big he's gotten. Can you say hi to Dad, Dad?
I mean, remember, this is before Skype and all that. So basically, the only connection I had with my family prior to that was via mail.
Oldest son Casey decided to rap to Daddy.
With his seat stuck to me, I raised my hand and said, "Excuse me, teacher, I go to the bathroom." And she got up and she screamed out, "No, it's off to the principal's office, you go."
Thalia is the only daughter in the family.
It's really hard to be without you when we're picking out the Christmas tree.
And the fire plug of the group is little 1-year-old Alexi.
It was bittersweet. I mean, it was like they're beautiful kids. I love them, but I can't see them in person, and I don't know when I'm going to see them.
He'd stay at sea for a lengthy 10-month deployment, missing family and home, but not the opportunity to send a message of hope for the future.
It's the birthday of the Prince of Peace. I believe that once we get this over with, however it ends, I think that perhaps we'll have peace.
And one day, maybe my children won't have to sail off to war or march off to war.
However optimistic that message, we would find ourselves fighting for peace once again just 10 years later. And Joe would once again cross paths with an O'Hearn, a coincidence spawned by terror that would define a generation.
My name is Maria O'Hearn. I am Mike's wife, and Joe interviewed me on 9/11.
Teenage government students watched events unfold in Mrs. Maria O'Hearn's class today at Maury High School. It was the end of the innocence for many.
And that's what it felt like. Your young students watching the horror that was happening in Manhattan.
Right. And we had a little television in our classroom, and we actually, while Joe was there interviewing us, watched the second plane hit.
An uncertain time in the war that would be. Through different but pivotal moments in history, Maria and Michael there to give the next generation perspective, at home and in the classroom.
You know, what do the kids want to talk about? How are they feeling? What are their concerns? Because it was certainly a teachable moment. And
this gets back to why I joined the Navy, to defend our country. So the concept, I think, of sacrifice was pretty much embedded in my children.
In many ways, things haven't changed much. War rages on. We fight, we pray, we observe, we sacrifice. An ongoing reminder of the cost of freedom. But through it all, reminders to cherish too. Love. And a video from home. Growth, seeing the power of education. Community. A reunion with old friends.
Plato once said, "Only the dead have seen the end of war." We are always going to face challenges, but when we face them together like this, and come back together and just reminisce a bit, it just makes our community stronger, and it makes everything more tolerable.
Happy holidays to all of our veterans who are serving overseas and here in the United States, who are serving to keep us safe, us Americans. We appreciate you.
We love you, and we are so grateful, and just keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Homelessness remains a crisis across the country and right here in Hampton Roads. I sat down with a man who's working to fight the problem and help veterans land back on their feet.
I was a musician in the Army band.
Norfolk native Reggie Keaton is just one of many men and women who joined the armed forces in service of our country.
I was stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
He spent years in the Army, stationed at what's now Fort Liberty, North Carolina. He says his life had a lot of changes over the years.
Everybody falls on hard times.
A year ago, he became unhoused. He would have had nowhere to go until a nonprofit called Vets House stepped in to help.
Oh, hey, man, how you doing?
This is Willard Smith. His friends call him Smitty. He's also a veteran.
Well, I went in the Air Force first. I did 6 years in the Air Force. Then I got out of the Air Force, then I came to the Navy.
He's the executive director of Vets House. The nonprofit provides transitional housing for veterans experiencing homelessness. The organization has worked to fight the problem since the 1990s.
It is a section. Actually, getting to the front door is a second chance.
Smith said Vets House helps veterans get back on their feet and gives them the tools they need to thrive. The program offers 12 months of housing to give vets time to find a job or go to school. The vets also pay affordable rent to stay in the program.
And you do everything you can in order to make yourself whole again. And once you get to that point where you think you've got a handle on it, then you can go ahead and apply to go back out in the world and do whatever.
Smith said he knows veterans, just like anyone else, can face a lot of challenges, like unemployment, substance abuse, and PTSD or other mental health concerns. He said all of these can lead to homelessness. Smith said his organization is about looking out for others and helping those who answered the call to serve our country.
It helped me reflect on some of the things that was damaging to me. So I'm thankful. I'm very thankful, grateful.
Shelton Curry just got to Vets House a month ago after hitting a rough patch in his life. A Cleveland, Ohio native, he served in the Navy for 8 years.
It's very comforting to know that you have a place to come to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm diligent in getting out there trying to be successful, you know. And what they call success is kind of different from what I call success, but more of a spiritual thing for me.
Curry, like Keaton and other veterans in the program, is working to get his life back on track. Smith said when veterans are dedicated to their success, the program will be dedicated to helping them achieve their goals.
If you put the program to work for you, it'll work. Put God in your life and do what's right. Time is getting short, and this world is changing.
At this most joyous time of the year, it's important to remember that for many military families, there will be an empty place at the table this year and forever. Suicide continues to be a tragedy that is a major problem for our armed forces.
To lose a shipmate due to suicide is one of the most devastating and horrible things that can ever happen. So we take this extremely seriously.
I wonder why they took their own lives. And sometimes that's a question that's never an answerable question.
One thing the Navy is doing is working to make chaplains regular members of the crew on ships. The goal is for clergy to connect with sailors, believers and non-believers alike in complete confidentiality.
Well, not only can we play an important role, we do play an important role. By 2025, every one of our ships of destroyer and then ultimately frigate size or larger will have an assigned chaplain. They'll actually have a chaplain that's part of ship's company. They become absolutely a trusted agent in the eyes of the crew by virtue of being there day in and day out with those folks.
At Naval Medical Center Portsmouth, 400 mental health counselors and staffers work around the clock on this problem.
Every single life that can be diverted away from suicide, that's a win.
Clinical psychologist Lieutenant Commander Michael Connor told me what it's like to take a call from a suicidal sailor.
First step is, can we get away from the crisis? Can we get to a point of stability? And then we want to work a little deeper. We want to get through to what maybe some of the roots of the problem are, because you can patch it up, but we really want to work on longer-term fixes if we can.
One thing that could have helped would have been if the Brandon Act had been fully implemented sooner. Might those 9 sailors be alive today?
Yes, we believe so.
We believe so.
In April, the parents of the late sailor for whom the law is named expressed frustration over how long the process was taking.
It should not be this hard to save lives.
The act improves the referral process for service members seeking a mental health evaluation and allowing them to seek help confidentially. Finally, this May 5th, more than 16 months later, with the Casertas looking on, Undersecretary of Defense Gilbert Cisneros signed a policy to initiate implementation of Phase 1 of the Brandon Act within 45 days. He said, "Our greatest strength is our people, and we are committed to their well-being." The Navy got put to the test soon thereafter when a 20-year-old Marine Lance Corporal aboard the USS Carter Hall repeatedly asked superiors for mental health care by invoking the Brandon Act, but he was denied.
He said, "Please help me. They're not listening to me. I've told them everything, and no one is listening."
After 13 News Now started asking questions about the situation, the Navy and Marine Corps decided to fly the Marine off the ship to Bahrain, where he received medical and psychological evaluations.
In this case, there was not good judgment. And so we
as a chain of command failed there.
Since 2017, the Navy has lost 452 active duty sailors and 62 reservists to suicide. Fleet Forces Admiral Darrell Cottle wants sailors and their families to know that the Navy is serious about this problem.
There is nothing more impactful to the Navy than to lose one of our own through suicide. You are my top priority.
Following a year in which Hampton Roads lost 9 sailors to suicide within less than 1 year's time, Cottle urged teammates thinking of self-harm to call the National Suicide Hotline 988. He outlined many steps the Navy is taking, including a new mental health playbook to assist leaders in addressing mental health problems in their commands, including a mental health roadmap that instructs leaders on specific resources available and actions to take.
To all of our heroes, active duty, veterans, deployed, and here at home, we are safe because of you. Thank you for your service.
Coming from a military family and with so many friends that have served and that are serving now, I just want to take a second to say thank you so much through the holidays. For those of you that can't be home, we so appreciate you. Happy holidays and God bless.
This right here is the 13 News Now Vault. This is where we store all of our old stories dating back decades. It's also where you're going to find the magic behind holiday salutes of the past. You know, we talk about 13 News Now reporter, former reporter Joe Flanagan a lot. That's because he was a big part of this special, oftentimes standing in for St. Nick himself. One of those appearances, one of my favorites, is from 1989. Here it is in its entirety.
Santa Claus has a heck of a time each year getting out to our sailors at sea. We caught up with him on board the USS Forrestal as he was trying to find his way to the ready room of Virginia Beach-based Squadron VAW 122. Have you ever tried to find a ready room on board a carrier? And the worst part is, Santa couldn't rely on Rudolph and the boys. They'd never fit.
Wait, these darn ships? Where are the lights around this place? Goodness. Ooh.
If you're in the Liberty section, you got Liberty. If you're in the duty section, time's up.
No wonder they call it the ready room. By the time Santa arrived, the steel jaws were ready for their goodies.
What I brought, guys, are some gifts from the wives.
There were toys to unwrap, like this model of the plane these guys fly, drinking mugs for those intimate moments in the hot tub, and special gifts for new daddies.
It's a doodle. That must be from my son. Oh, he's 5 months now.
5 months, congratulations.
And a book from Mom. Thank you, Wendy, and thank you, John.
Paul Shanklin's first child, Nick, was just born December 1st.
Mr. New Dad.
Hoping this for all of my 17 and a half years, and when my voice changes after I'm done with this, I'll be very grateful. Thank you.
Oh, and a new toothbrush, because she used mine to clean the sink. And didn't tell me. Oh, and gummy bears. And one of them things that drives you nuts, trying to figure out what to eat.
Yes, there were Tommy Wee waterfall gifts.
What is this thing?
Toilet target games and innovative toilet paper holders.
Toilet paper in half.
Thanks, Veronica.
All designed to bring a little spirit of Hampton Roads to the men away from home at Christmas time.
Oh, look at this.
Santa's my birthday today. Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
time.
So before Santa said goodbye, the Steeljaws asked that he sit down and wish a quick Merry Christmas to the folks back home.
Merry Christmas, Hampton Roads from the Steeljaws!
Merry Christmas to all of our troops serving overseas and here at home, especially my husband, Mike Terrascavage. We love you and glad you're close to retirement.
Merry Christmas to every branch of the military. I really appreciate you, and I really want to give a shout out to my father, Mike Terrascavage. He has inspired me to do so many things, and I really look up to him. Merry Christmas.
Scores of military family members right here in Hampton Roads got a free holiday meal this season thanks to a national organization. Leaders there told me it's about serving those who serve us.
It's to give back to the military families that support us every day.
These volunteers are bringing a bit of holiday cheer to service members and their families.
Operation Homefront is very significant in supporting our active duty military personnel. Anything to try to brighten up and lighten the load for the holiday season.
This is Operation Homefront's Holiday Meals for Military program. In Newport News on November 17th and in Norfolk on December 8th, volunteers passed out fresh groceries and grocery gift cards to military families free of charge so they can prepare a traditional holiday meal.
More and more military families are struggling to put food on the table. The need continues to grow.
The holiday season is often a chance for family and friends to come together to share a meal. But we're all feeling the rising cost of living, and military families are not exempt.
As many as 26% of enlisted active duty service members report some level of food insecurity.
Rachel Tetro coordinates Operation Homefront activities in Hampton Roads.
Those junior enlisted folks don't make as much money as some of our more senior enlisted military members, and those food prices continue to rise. They're expected to continue to rise at above historical average rates.
The Holiday Meals for Military program is an annual event that started back in 2010. Every year, volunteers come together to pack and distribute meal kits to families who need them most.
At the end of this year, we'll have served our 700,000th family for the holidays. This year alone, we're serving 14,500 families for the holidays.
Event organizers say many military members are far from family on the holidays, and they hope that by easing the financial burden that can come with buying a holiday meal, they can make the holiday season a little brighter.
Many of our families are deployed or not with their families, or they might not be living in the same state as their families right now. And so this is a way to kind of make them kind of revisit that and really think about the ways that just really be positive for them to really remember their family and to kind of make that connection that they sometimes miss when they've been deployed.
Many of the volunteers and workers are veterans and military family members themselves. So they say they know firsthand how much events like this can make a difference.
I think it means a lot to the personnel because they know that other people are backing them up while they're out defending the nation during this time that we're dealing with in this world, and they know that the home front got them covered.
Being deployed a lot, I knew that organizations like this, giving back to my family, taking care of them, it kind of gives you that reassurance that, you know, they're going to enjoy the holidays as much as possible when, you know, their parent is not home.
And that's going to do it for another edition of Holiday Salute.
Thank you so much for spending time with us.
And most of all, thanks to the men and women of our armed forces. To all of them and to all of you, we say,
Happy Holidays.